So how do we connect feedback and personality? Firstly, why would we want to connect feedback and personality? It's best to connect the two of these things because in order to give effective feedback, if you take into account the personality of the individual that you're giving the feedback to, you are going to be more effective. So, number one, take into account your own personality. How do you tend to give it? I like to use the DISC model most of the time when we're talking about personality. So I tend to be a D or a DC. And so I can be very direct. I can also be very precise because of my C orientation. And I can even be detailed as well as bulleted, depending on whether I'm leaning toward the D style or the C style. Now, if I give feedback in a way that comes naturally to me or a way in which I prefer, I'm going to miss connecting with someone much of the time, maybe even 3/4 of the time if I don't take into account their personality and their style. So let me quickly review the DISC model in terms of how feedback tends to be preferred or received. Those that are Ds tend to focus on results. So if you're going to provide them feedback, make sure it's direct, make sure it's clear, make sure it is connected to producing results, and feedback will be received much better. If you are giving feedback to a person that has the I personality or the I influence style, you're going to want to give the feedback to them in a way that has enthusiasm, that is positive and upbeat. You're going to want to give the feedback in a way that indicates how it will strengthen relationships and help them be more effective socially. In that spirit, you will deliver feedback that's going to be better received. For the third style, the S style or the steadiness style, you'll want to take into account being friendly, being calm, and keeping your emotions in check. You'll also want to give them feedback in a way that indicates to them how it is that they can actually be a better team player and how they can be more helpful to the organization. The fourth and final style, which is the C or the conscientious style, appreciates feedback that is detailed, that's on point, that's accurate, that's based on data. If you do this, you're going to fulfill the needs of the C person to be able to hear and receive the feedback. Now, last and not least, regardless of your own personality or regardless of the 4 different distinct DISC styles of personality that are there, the D, I, S, and C, you want to include the pro tip that I've spoken about in other videos. Obtain permission first. Get a yes from the individual. Make sure it's the right time, and then lean into delivering the feedback. Until next time, keep learning and growing.